from Budapest, Hungary. My name is International Master William Pascal. We are streaming some Fast Friday action here. Going to be taking on challengers. The speeding bullet of 5+3. Casual blitz, if you would like. I tried to play a warm-up game on my phone, but I got a ridiculously weak opponent. So we're gonna play a warm-up game here for the benefit of our fans before we get started with the ultra tough Mr. Slowhand. Welcome, Acerbate, to the stream, all of our faithful viewers. I'm still not awake yet. Here we go. Lobby. What do we got? 8+10. That's not gonna fly. Random 2500s in the 3+0. I don't think so. Not a lot of people who are legitimately 2500 are gonna throw in challenges here. They know better than that. All right, here's 5+0, just to get warmed up. Whoop, missed him. The one that got away. Good morning, guys. 3+1. It's a game. I've been playing a lot of 3+2 on my phone. That's like the official FIDE time control, but it's too fast for commentary. So that's why I don't play the 3-minute speed. Professor is not here. Dude, why get in the pool if you're not going to swim? It's ridiculous. Professor. 3+3. 1900. From Hong Kong. Wow. 2200 in classical. He's a good player. Damn. 5+3 is standard, Mr. Slow. That's what we're playing. I'm only taking this challenge because I want to get warmed up. But I was supposed to play a weaker player. Instead, I get like a 2200. Why is he so much higher, though, in classical and rapid than blitz? That seems... Dude, he played D5, and he's 2200 in classical? What? That doesn't make a lot of sense, man. Something suspicious about this character. He just dropped a piece. So he's letting his little brother play in his account. That's not cool, guys. At least it's a casual game, but still. Be careful to protect your account security from your little brother. Or little sister, or whatever the case may be. I mean, this isn't possible that a 2200 classical player just drops pieces in 6 moves. That's kind of disturbing. Rating manipulation. I can't even get a normal game. Forget about it. Let's just play someone on sound, I want to say. Let's just play with slow hand. Forget about these losers in the lobby. Alright. So let's go. I just clicked on your profile. Alright. Sorry to expose your personal details, Mr. Slowhand. Mr. Slowhand very generously donated 10 gift subs yesterday during our subscriber stream. We had a very good subscriber stream, which I enjoyed yesterday with a lot of interesting games for analysis. I haven't been playing the Knight F6 Scandinavian much. This was an old favorite of mine. But probably I played against Mr. Slowhand, got a bad position last time. Maybe not. This isn't the great move, Knight C3. Surprisingly, it's a very natural move, but you don't have very good control of D4. D4 and E5. With Knight F3, you get better control of D4 and E5. Once I lost to Mark Blofstein in this, one of the worst tournaments of my life, It's already advantage to black after like 7 moves. I managed to lose this ending. It was unbelievable. Black has massive compensation. Speaking of someone on sound, he would be just in love with this. He loves to be down upon in end games, like one of our subscribers. Blubix, I was just thinking that this morning. If I didn't work every day, I wouldn't know what time it was, what day it was. F4. Yeah, it's an interesting question. Similar to my game, maybe the same game as with Liechtenstein years ago. Black has an advantage here. I'm not sure if I should do something dramatic like F6. We have to open the position as fast as possible. I think I just simply play Bishop E6. This is probably good enough. I'm thinking like you could probably play F6 and have really good compensation there, blasting open the central file. So there's more than one way to skin the proverbial cat. Sorry, Mr. Coffee, wherever you are. I don't mean to talk too much about skinning cats. We're just playing on instinct here. Well, Blobix, I mean, for a lot of people who have jobs that are affected by the lockdown, I mean, of course, I imagine that that's a common problem. If you play knight g5, how's your development doing? Okay, I'll just move my bishop. Just don't have a square for it. Now I can take on e3 and take on c4 with the bishop. I didn't calculate that very far. I don't want to cash in until I have to. I wish I had the game with Liechtenstein to replay again. I can't believe what kind of gift he gave me in the opening. To let me play this kind of endgame. Okay, it was years ago. He wasn't a GM at that time. But still, for a strong title player to give you a chance to play this position is like very rare. It's a very good ending for black. Blasting the center. The first game opening was really revolutionary. You should have seen the game I played on my phone before the stream started. You know what was funny though? I've been experimenting with playing anonymously on my phone when I'm just bored. Like before I go to sleep and stuff, whatever, when I have nothing to do. And I'm amazed at the strength of the players that I'm getting, actually. Usually you'd think, okay, you get a lot of weaker players. The average player, let's say, on an internet chess site with 100,000 players on it, can't be that good, etc. But I'm impressed. I mean, I'm just an anonymous user. They don't know I'm an IM when I log on my phone. And I mean, I'm just getting like a random opponent. The average strength of those opponents is pretty good. I was really thinking like, wow. I mean, I beat most of them, but I mean, occasionally I'll lose or draw, and all the games seem to be really tense. A lot of them are extremely tense. So people are just getting better at chess, period, because of the information, available out there. The one thing that I've noticed the most, though, is the main thing that's characteristic with people is the inconsistencies in their game. Like, usually people are, let's say, really good at one thing but horrible at another. Can I win some more material, please? Not so easy. Should I pin you first and then go after the pawn? I'd like a second pawn, please. Rook takes. Rook e3. My knight just is not happy. Rook e3. I saw this line. What's wrong with rook e3 again? I don't know. It's probably a good way to like lose a rook or something after king f2. It's a good way to lose a rook. Pawn per bit. Did he donate 1 bit? Man, we'd have a lot of pawns. He's donated a lot of bits. There'd be a lot of pawns. Wolfenstein. That's an old game, dude. Do you know about Castle Wolfenstein? That I remember my friend had it on IBM. He played on his dad's IBM PC like in 1987. We were playing Castle Wolfenstein. You just made me bring that memory back. That's like one of the oldest PCs I can remember. That was the first person I knew who had an IBM PC. My best friend's dad. I totally forgot about that, you know, because I had an Apple. I'm not thrilled about this queenside. I don't like having to do that to my queenside pawns. Now what's this? H4. You're trying to help me create an outside pass pawn? Do I want that? Outside pass pawn is not going to help me too much against that bishop, I don't think. Mr. Slowhand's probably going to draw this. He's an awesome endgame player. This is a classic bishop versus knight endgame where white has excellent drawing chances. The bishop's pretty useful defensively. Wow. Trying to break his queenside pawns. Knight needs to repurpose its life. Sladgie viewers are strong endgame players, man. You and someone on sound. Self-proclaimed weak in the endgame. Mr. Slowhand, this is the worst move. Not the worst move, but not the best move. You have b4, and that leaves my pawn on a4, and that leaves my pawn on a square where it could be attacked, but the a4 was actually a mistake. I'm 99% sure that was a mistake. It's not such a bad move to take, but it's not the best. This itself, this move surprises me a little bit. Now my knight is sucking on a different square. Trading rooks is bad. Rook and bishop. If you talk to Blaux's countrymen, Josef Dorfman, he wrote the book on the concept of piece tandems. And rook and bishop is a good tandem. In tandem. Am I winning here, or is this just a draw? Go. I think we're just in time. Pawn cube. You're in the pawn cube. Bubix, that's correct. Queens with knights and rooks with bishops. Mr. Slohan probably should try to keep the rook on the board there. His rook and bishop can do a lot of damage. You know, but probably it's not a win for me before he allows the trade of rooks. Here I had some kind of lucky tactics with b5. I'm even inclined to think there's some way that white might hold on here, but I think it might be too late. This threat, this concrete threat of knight takes c4 is too much. Actually, if he has g4 here, maybe he hangs on. What about g4? Fixing my kingside pawns. And the winner is g4, no good. Has to be the best try. If I were to be simple and take this, I'm thinking that this might be holdable. Yeah. So apparently I have some better subtle moves, you know, if I don't take right away. But I mean, g4 in practice at least gives me a good way to go wrong. This outside pawn looks kind of dangerous. I mean, I have to be careful. So interesting endgame. No time to go over it. We're supposed to be playing blitz, but I can't help myself to analyze. I have no chance at classical. That's why I like to play blitz. I saw one of our subscribers played in a simul with some Russian FM. This thing makes me sick, dude. People who put their FIDE blitz rating as their, like, to deceptively advertise. I talked about this earlier with Morales, like, last week or something. Some FM, he's like putting his FIDE blitz rating as his rating. Like, it's deceptive advertising. That's just against the law. You're not allowed. Oh, there is no international law. But I mean, it's so sickening when people do that. He's like 2,300 classical and 2,500 blitz. And he's like putting his blitz rating to attract students. Shameless self-promotion and lies. Blitz ratings are meaningless, man. Nobody has a blitz rating. I don't even have a FIDE rating, blitz rating. It's ridiculous. It's unbelievable. I don't even have a FIDE blitz rating, and Hungary has a lot of tournaments, but mostly classical, not so much rapid or blitz. All right. I only know of like one really strong blitz tournament. There are other small ones. You can't advertise your blitz rating. He's offering blitz lessons. Obviously, I hope so. Rapid rating is even a joke, you know, but at least that's somewhat internationally relevant. Like, enough people have rapid ratings that it sort of matters. H3 now. You got to admit that's kind of a weird move at this juncture, but maybe not. So we react in the center. Huh. It's a good move. I don't know what to do against this. So I'm just stuck going back to the standard b6, bishop b7. Actually, c5, e3, queen b6 is interesting. Could probably sack a pawn there. This might be white's best move, actually. What does black do? Stops knight h5. He's still stopping e5. c5, e3. Do I have anything with like c5, e3, queen b6? He's probably going to sack a pawn. Sack a ponda. How can I punish h3 being played like ultra early? Take advantage of it, you know? Anyway, I shouldn't spend like 2 minutes on this move, but I'm seeing this for the first time. Good morning from Brighton. My accent is really cool. It's American accent that's been like smoothed over time by speaking to people from foreign countries. It's a very unusual, kind of unusual accent probably at this stage, because I've spent so much of my life living in other places. I guess I try to make it clearer for people to understand. But thanks. So b3, but I've been speaking a lot, you know, for years, doing chess videos and whatnot. So b3 I think is a weak move. It's slow. That's the kind of thing we want to see here. There's no justification to the weakening of dark squares for him with his bishop out here on f4. The best try for white is probably, I mean, queen c1 is passive. Probably sacking a pawn with knight on bd2, you know, and giving up the b2 pawn. That's what I would recommend. All right, anyway, I'm a little bit low on time. This is a blitz game, and I've been talking too much. So, I'm not really from Boston. I lived in Boston for 15 years, but I never, you know, was that affected by the local accent there. I lived in New England for longer than that, but I never really, you know, got my speech affected that much by the local accent there. So I'm from near Philadelphia originally, and sometimes you can detect a little bit of a South Jersey, Philadelphia accent in my speech, but you have to be, you know, like expert. You have to be an expert in American dialects to kind of notice that. Dialect experts. The Balaton Lake accent. Exactly. I started practicing my Balaton Lake accent in 1996. It's good for picking up girls. All right. But all jokes aside, my knight on d7 wishes it was on c6 right now. We can all dream. But I yesterday for the first time tested my move order. This is the Weedmaster system, which he got from somewhere a reliable source, no doubt. But he's the first one to play h3. We'll have to look it up. So, my friend, the Weedmaster, is another IM from back home. He's part of the Nashua School of Chess that we created years ago, Nashua, New Hampshire. We had our own school of chess, basically. It's been broken up though. It's now defunct. Castles. And black to play. Time is going, and white still has a sound position. How can I use this diagonal? How can I get my pieces in the game? Can I play knight b8? It's a little slow. You may want to play d5 down a tempo at some point. Alright, we'll see. Knight d5 is an interesting move to go for knight b4. Self-correcting. But if he plays a3, I have a problem. I'm going to have to start grabbing material. This is extremely risky. I don't like it. Maybe knight c7 isn't that bad. This isn't a good move. Knight d5 is bad. I'm starting to be affected by the time pressure. I guess I should just play like d5 or cd. At the end of the day, my position isn't really better than white. I was unable to really demonstrate an advantage here. I'm going to have to reposition my pieces. Maybe queen c7 and b6, but he's going to play c4. Yeah, I was hoping for like a3 and I would take this pawn, but even that's risky. C3 is solid. It occurred to me he can do that. I don't know if it's the best move or not, but it's not bad. Now he's starting e4 actually. E4 is a serious problem here. Pays your money and he takes your choice. According to Arthur Bisgeier. Either way is possible. I think he should take with the e-pawn personally. Who's listening to me anyway? His bishop is bad in this type of structure. I'm just throwing out random strategic commentary. My knights are pretty stupid. Pretty and stupid. It's the way I like them. Now actually, it's probably not that bad for white. He has a strong center. Even though I have the bishop pair, it's not doing very much, this one. That one just improved a bit with e4. I think e4 is kind of a risky move for white, honestly. Huh. Maybe he's got me here. e5, go for it. We'll see. He has got his h2 bishop back in the game. No, I'm screwed now. Nearly completely screwed. He had knight d5 there. That was ultra strong. It's still strong. Wow. Now not so much. Knight d5 was very powerful on the previous move. I never saw my knights. My knight's problem. I thought I was winning a pawn with this. Here I am thinking that I had enough compensation. Mistakenly thinking that I won a pawn. No comments on the technical stage of this game. Alright, whatever. He's been playing too much non-increment blitz, obviously. Myself, not enough. He was totally, clearly almost winning, and now he's going to lose. but dude, there's an increment. You can't play like there's no increment here. It's a totally different game. The descent upon loss, it has to be for me like 50. And for Ayeste, it's probably like 75 because he had like he's just dropping a rook at the end. This was a horribly played game tactically. It was kind of interesting strategically, but at the end, it was just a disaster. But I'm curious about the opening. I just want to stop. Guys, we're taking more challenges, 5+3, but I want to see the opening here. H3. I'm sure that I looked at this a while ago, but I can't remember. So H3. This might really be his best move. I'm not a fan of knight C3. I mean, that's another thing. But y'all call it what you want, man, but that's not the London system. That's a kind of Verisov. You can say what you want. That's not a London system. This is a London system. H3. Yeah, so there's nothing better than just going back into a normal setup with like B6, G6, what have you. Asterbay, what's up? That's a good idea to keep the in-depth analysis ad for every day of the week. I did that? What? Oh my god, I left that there? Bob enjoys that. I can't believe I did it. I left it there. Thanks for alerting me. We should like highlight we should use it to highlight one of our subscribers every week, every day. Yeah, there's nothing better than like G6 here. G6, going back into what he wants. Yeah, so this is not a panacea for black. So I tried the only move that's kind of interesting, which is C5. Now he plays E3. Yeah, D5 is interesting. E3, Queen B6. Yeah, B3 is a lemon. Definitely sack the pawn here, boys and girls. If you play the London system, it's absolutely mandatory to sack this pawn. I mean, come on now. Queen C1 is too passive. Even that's playable and better than B3, but you gotta sack this pawn. Tons of compensation. You know the secret to knowing when to sack this type of pawn? Like, you can't do it if you've played C3. But basically, if you haven't wasted time with C3, I think the pawn sack is usually good. Now Blobix feels obliged to challenge. Now with Blobix. He feels honored. That's what I should do. I should put everybody's name at the bottom before I play them. Like an arena match or something. Now, in the arena, Blobix against Sparkle Horse. It's not a bad idea. It takes some time to fill it in. Should get Mr. Coffee involved. Now, with D4. My E4 is not really ready this morning. It hasn't been fully energized. There it is. So I looked at our last game. a little bit. You're totally into fianchettoing. No, last time was knight c3, right? How good is d5? d5. You got some b5 nasty stuff, right? Your game with what's his face? What's that Russian grandmaster who lives in France? Shekashev? You got the Shekashev analysis ready for me? We're repeating our last game, theoretical duel. I call it the Romanov draw variation. Playing for draw variation. So d5, turns out it's pretty known. I wasn't aware. I don't remember. I think queen a4 is played. Maybe we should try that, although Blavix probably knows it. Like, what happens if queen a4? We just hang out. It stops knight c6. That's a good sign. I mean, that's a good thing. Generally, I don't like putting my queen on a4, and our catchphrase is queen a5 is always bad. Asterbate, are you there? What's his face? Blavix almost drew what's his face. International Grandmaster Andrei Shekashev. It is Andrei, right? Is it? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Grandmaster is a Grandmaster. They're a dime a dozen. But queen a5 is always bad, then therefore by deduction, queen a4 is always bad. Right? Right. This is an artificial move. Then again, bishop e3 is artificial as well. Last time I played rook c1 against Blavix, which isn't a bad move. I thought that's more even chook style, more fundamental. Develop the rooks before the queens. That's the first thing you learn at French chess school. Queen takes c4. Bishops before knights and queens before rooks, right? Now with Blavix. I made him play. Thank you guys for supporting the stream. Mr. Slowhand, 1,200 bits this week. Jim with 700, WJ Loof. And Mr. Slowhand, Bob Sakamano with the gift subs. Blavix, it's kind of funny. It's an aggressive move, allowing me to take on c7. The irony is that he hates endgames, and he doesn't like trading pieces. So now he's forced to do something that's against his nature. Or feels forced, anyway. So, alright. You want to play queen h5? Queen c7 feels kind of materialistic, but it might even be a good move. Queen c7, knight c6, queen f4. Then e5. I would imagine he has good compensation there. Five plus 3 today only. Today is practice your bishop and knight in games. No, we did that. Today is queen versus rook. But in talking about queen versus rook, I was thinking this morning that I never got John Nunn's book on pawnless endings. You know, it takes a really strong stomach to read like a John Nunn endgame book from cover to cover and study it. He has a book entitled Secrets of Pawnless Endings. That's, I'm sure, in there. What you've got to keep in mind is that when you're studying these type of endgames with no pawns, like, okay, I said how difficult it is to win with queen versus rook. I'm talking about against an engine. Because humans are bad at defending. Humans are bad at defending queen versus rook, like the same way that they're bad at playing the superior side. I have never really like thought I had to study it that much because I'm sure that I'll beat a human with queen versus rook. It's against the computer that I have problems. Because nobody's going to put in the time to study the defending side of queen versus rook. And if they do, they're wasting their time. A handful of people. So c5, how does this work? I'm looking for some sort of secret move here. Blobix's development is lagged. Okay, I'm defending my deep pawn. Deep stuff. Play it safe. Normal, well, whatever you want. It's really supposed to be blitz today. We don't have much. I gotta counter that bishop on g7. Karpov versus Blobix. Khan, 1984. Simul. Board number 17. 1-0 and 83. Yeah, there's not much here. That's all I've got. Ulf Anderson would be in heaven here with White's position. Massive advantage of something like 0.001 for White. The problem is knight c5 is coming. All right. What about knight c6? It's not a very stable position. b5 is a bit more stable. Gladys Troll, we don't have lunch. Gladys Troll, I think, lives in in some sort of old folks home or something. There was an announcement. They're not having lunch today. All right. But we have vodka. The political joke for the day. Donald Trump now suggesting that people ingest like chlorine. I was thinking that the Belarusian system of vodka and sauna sounds a lot better. Do we have the 10-minute follow in place? Yeah, you can advertise your link somewhere else. Even like the subscribers are usually like polite and ask if you don't mind. I hate it when people like lately I've been getting a lot of people spamming me messages on lichess. Usually about their teams or stuff. I've literally never spammed my tournaments, team, anything ever. I don't believe in shameless self-promotion. He only lasted 60 days without alcohol. I've been drinking beers every day for the past week. That's fine. I'm not sure that beer is effective against coronavirus. I think just stronger alcohols. All right. What? What? Man, Blavix is in. He's on the precipice now. After playing this rather passively, he's getting extremely close to Zugzwang. Barons and Knight. Unaware of rude behavior. He's a reflection of his parents. Dude, I have 2 children who are like 9 and 11 years old, and they know the difference between a lot of things that are rude behavior. There are some things that the kids don't realize as subtly as adults, but there's a difference. I remember one time, oh no, rook b6. Rook b6, the blob is going to save himself now. Oh no, I think I'm winning. The secret move. The master of knights. Not completely over. I'm going to have to hide in the corner. Do I get mated on h3? Maybe I should go up. I think it's safer to go up. So he's not totally dead here. You're convinced you already had it? Very likely. Now they think a lot of Americans had it way back in weeks before they thought it was possible. I let this get out of control a little bit here. But once we were in Vegas with some friends. They embarrassed my friends by like criticizing these people whose children were behaving badly. It was like a buffet at a casino. Little kids were like jumping around and stuff. It was really annoying. I told the parents, like, your kids are a reflection of you. My friends couldn't believe it. It's like blaming the parents for their kids' behavior. Imagine that. It was an embarrassing moment for everyone involved. Oh no, I could have won a piece with rook d7. This is a serious blunder. Now you had the check. Blavix is clearly not awake yet. We need another pawn. Multi-purpose rook. I didn't even want it. Nils, you just don't watch the stream enough. Go back and watch the last replay. I'm like the master of bishop and knight endgame. No, Nils, you can't make fun of me for that anymore. We've already fixed it. Very, very impressive demonstration of bishop and knight made in yesterday's stream. Just for you. Okay, Stefanos Kappa, Morwa, strong players. From position. Oh, speaking of which. Oh, the half chess. Last time Stefanos got crushed in half chess. I like the other half better. The part with the queen on it. Now, he challenged me to this once where I was white last time. Opposite-color bishops are very important. They create a dynamic situation where you're attacking on opposite sides. I hope this is okay. My king doesn't feel right out here. He has a little bit of indigestion. I wonder if I made a mistake. Is it possible to make a blunder? Maybe black's almost lost. Yeah, we could be in serious trouble already. I played too quickly. I mean, when it's like half chess and there's only this many pieces left on the board, I don't understand how e6 could be a mistake, though. Now what is my choice? To block my pieces with king e7? I don't know what else I can do, really. Now the rook is coming quickly to one of these dangerous positions. Let's see. Yes. Woof, 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 woof. This doesn't look safe. Stefanos makes me play these ridiculous positions. It's only ridiculous when I have one almost lost. I never realized how bad it was when you made me do this last time and I was white and I won easily. I didn't realize how bad it is for black. Now when you're in the black side, you're like, geez, this sucks. I don't think controlling A1 is going to be enough, you know? He'll just come down a different file. I mean, he has like 4 open files he can pick. If I could control A1, I probably would, but it takes me 2 moves to get my bishop to the long diagonal. Yeah, maybe like bishop e4 check, king e2, bishop c3. Okay, so now knight f6. Maybe king e7 first. King e7 is going to walk into knight e5. It's not clear how bad that is. But it feels like I should bring my knight out. I was looking at knight f6, rook c1. Maybe that's not so bad. Knight g5 is a big threat. Also, I have knight f6, knight e4, knight c3 check. But that doesn't matter. After knight f6, rook c1, knight e4. I'm probably like losing a piece. Not quite, though. Yeah, I don't like the look of that. The knight is too precarious. But knight e7 loses to knight g5. So that variation is basically out. The main point of bishop c5 is to stop rook a7. This would be deadly. Now all 3 of white's pieces are coordinated in the game, and I'm behind schedule. You really shouldn't drink in the morning, Nils. Allow him to castle. You are kidding, right? It's hard to tell when he's joking. The Dutch sense of humor. I don't know, man. Was that a joke? I hope so. I hope it was a joke. Now we're really in a dangerous situation. Damn it. King d6, rook d1 check. King e7, rook d7 check, king f6. I think it's just lost. But maybe we can put up some resistance there. Though I don't know how. We could put up some resistance. Is that my only chance? If I let him on the 8th, I think I might be lost. I guess you can play like bishop e6, bishop d8. It's extremely awkward. This is terrible. This looks lost. Oh, this just loses. So, knight g5 just wins. But there's no good defense. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. After bishop d6, rook c8. How do you defend the position? There's some defense with king f6. Miraculous defense with king f6. So, this is the first trick. Like, you probably should play king e7 and aim for that formation to begin with. Putting your king on g7 or something. It's interesting that this is a mistake right away. This is the best defense. By separating my king for the rest of the pieces, I'm already significantly worse. But here, apparently, is a mistake. Bishop d6. I was concerned about knight g5. I guess it's not a big problem. King e7, rook a1. The position is very difficult to defend. Anyway, so much for Fast Blitz. Let's play. That was not part of the schedule for today, Stefanos. But alright. You let me beat you in that position before. He has revenge. The Isle of Dr. Moreau. Closed Sicilian. Chameleon. Chameleon system. Is it a closed or open? Now it's open, now it's closed. Now it's open. Open for business. The theme is supposed to be playing Blitz, guys. 5+3. I'm streaming till 1:30. Let's get some challenges. Does your sense of humor improve when you're drinking? Nils? Or does it get worse? Very, very strange move here by Marwa, playing e5. Wow. Okay, white is not really set up for some sort of big kingside attack, but this is weakening f5. So I don't normally think this is a threat. Though he might play it anyways. Grammarly. The stream is sponsored not by Grammarly. One possibility is g4. There's also... I don't have lichess in the title. I know. Did I know that? Really? Oh no, I don't? Are you serious? I can't even bring up my link. Where is it? Oh man. Thank you, troll. Pointing that out. The rest of us asleep at the switch. And I got Blobix. I left Blobix in the Streamlabs. We should get him out of there. Everyone's gonna be running away. Who the heck is Blobix? One second. Gotta fix the stream description. We're very serious here. D6. When in doubt. The Perenni variation. That helped. Church time here in Budapest. The 12 o'clock witching hour. Christian witching hour. I don't know, maybe he should try g6 here. I don't know. It's worth looking at. The queen a4 though, I think I might, I don't know if I like it better than rook c1, Blobix. But it's not just for you, it's for my next match with Yevgeny Romanov. So you can't accuse me of playing for a draw. You guys know. Marwa is completely lost here. Strategically lost in a philosophical sense. You pay every time for the bad Romanov behavior. Yeah, that's true. That's not fair. I take out my vengeance on you. It's not fair. I have to stop. That's not fair. I agree. Positional nightmare. It's like a King's Indian. Stefanos Kappa continuing the gift sub they got from Mr. Slowhand. I didn't even realize that. That's cool. Stefanos was actually a gift subber. He got his money's worth. Am I in? Oh no. Oh yeah, for a second I thought he was going to play knight c7. Alright, now. Doesn't look good. No way to protect h7. It's a good thing I play the King's Indian all my life. Mr. Slowhand would appreciate this. You know what's funny, Mr. Slow? You know that combination where you showed me the game where you mated the guy with like queen h3, queen sack? The other day I was on Facebook and there was a Sabalo game where he did that. Someone put in their Facebook page a puzzle. Not Sabalo, Sviton had the exact same queen sack with queen h3. Alright, no rematches. We just have to enjoy our victory. No, but what about g6? I'm not taking rated challenges, guys. What about g6? How bad is... I mean, e5 is a positional catastrophe. This is a move that normally I don't think Marwa would make if he was warmed up. So obviously this is not a good move, but under the circumstances, right? What should black do after g4? I was thinking, look, if you play g6, I mean, maybe I can play it like a perennial attack and not even move my knight. Five plus 3. But the question would be, do I go knight e7 check? Or do I play knight h6 check? The engine is looking at h6. So this is a huge problem. Just taking with the pin on g5. So even g6 doesn't help. I mean, you just can't play e5. It basically loses for black here. It practically loses. The engine thinks the best thing to do is to do nothing well. Alright. Well, since we have no other subscribers, I will take another challenge with Marwa. I don't mean to shut him down. I just want to give everybody a chance to play. If we don't have any other challengers, but we really need to get some challenges. Where is everyone? Just afraid because I'm socially distant and I have more nuts. Everybody's just afraid. Afraid to play me in 5 plus 3 casual. Chickens. Alright. No one here but us chickens. You'll sit on your plus score. We know how important that is to you. Now what's this? Queen's Gambit declined? Was usually what Marwa would do. I think I like e3 because nobody plays it. It used to be the main line against the Nimzo. And against a young player like Marwa, he's going to be seeing this less than most systems and be less familiar. Roman Gingy Hashvili. My only real influence. 92 c5. I think I had a game once. A couple games maybe. Similar to Reshevsky variation. Maybe I should castle though. Of course, okay, it's similar to like a kind of same-ish after this. I lost really, really bad against Gergo Sabo from Romania in this type of position 2 years ago, like a bunny. I just lost like a beginner with black. If you don't know what you're doing in this type of line, you're dead with black. You can't just play like ordinary moves. Now, I don't know if he knows what he's doing, or he's just making stuff up here. Do I know what I'm doing? In a similar position against Sabo Gergo, I went under very quickly. I tried to play like something crazy because I've seen similar positions where it was done. Oh, I just hung my d2 pawn, my e3 pawn. That was not part of the program. Oops. Never mind. It's an interesting pawn sacrifice, maybe. How am I supposed to protect e3? I guess I have to play rook e1 first. Duh. Alright, well, Morwala's out for revenge now. That was a slight problem. We're not supposed to lose that pawn. That sort of destroys our position. The whole idea was to play e4, e5. There's some cameos searching for Bobby Fischer. Yeah. I haven't seen that movie since it was in the theater. Like 1994. I don't remember exactly. He likes trading pieces. Can't blame him. I can't blame him for that. I don't like trading pieces. Not when I'm down a pawn, definitely. So, yeah, but I don't think I can afford not to. The e-file is too important. Pigeons on the roof. Refrain from what you're doing. That's the problem. Sometimes we have pigeon issues with my skylight. Maybe g4. Nothing to lose. That's an idea I would like to play in a normal position when I had more time. The ending down a pawn. Do we have any threats? He has some threats. I don't like that move. All of his stuff is protected here. I don't want to trade queens, but yeah, Gingy was still in his prime, close to his prime when that movie came out. I managed to mess up my kingside structure as well here, but there's still some drawing chances, I would say. Bad bishop. I really didn't help myself with the breaking up of my kingside structure. Though it's not easy for black to make progress, as you can see from the live video. You liked his books, Opening Explained? What? What did he play? Bishop d7. That's a weird move. We don't have time to chatter. Maybe I'm playing for a win with h6 check. How about an outside pass pawn here? Probably a draw. But I'm a pawn down with a lot less time. We hung our e3 pawn in Nimzo. Not a very good way to start. Thank you for the donation, Berenson. 201 on the board. What about trading a piece here? If I were to trade a piece, what would it be? This blockades this critical protected pass pawn. Really important. And now it's a draw. Not an automatic draw, of course. This could go on like for hours. How does he have so much time? It's insane. Unlimited time. This is the last resort draw when you put all your pawns on the same color as your bishop. It's the worst position for your bishop, but there's just a force field. How do we suddenly have so many challenges? Alright, so we got to check out and vet these people. He's got an established account. Alright, everybody's vetted, sort of. I'm going to play as many games as I can in an hour. Don't forget Sunday Simul. Roman was kind of a snake oil salesman. He recommended a lot of systems that weren't really good. But his heart was in it, you know. He kind of believed. He sometimes influenced me to play bad stuff. He was a good salesman. Sunday Simul, it's 6:30 CEST. Bishop G4. This is probably a good way to play for a win with black. It's difficult to play for a win against Knight F3. Probably as good a try as any, although it's not really good for black. It's a way of creating imbalance. Is about all I can say for the early Bishop G4. Another approach is to play E3. That's also possible. If you play it like a King's Indian or Old Indian, you know, you're not going to want to give up your white squared bishop. Yesterday we had a game analysis by one of our subscribers, El Rossador, and his opponent just like traded his white squared bishop for no reason on F3, you know, and it's not really optimal. Maybe this isn't the worst version for bishop takes F3. Black still has some dark square counterplay. There are worse positions where you can give up your bishop. But the weakness will be felt acutely on the white squares for the rest of the game. You might feel a little pinch. I'm so sorry Bob isn't here today. He would have enjoyed it. 27 viewers. Let's check the viewers. Guys, let's see. Who's streaming? Followed channels. Nobody I know is streaming. This is a bad square. I mean, sometimes it's like valid because maybe the c4 pawn is a weakness, but here I have it really solidly protected. So I'd have to vote for knight b6 just being very inappropriate here. The banana man. We have like a yellow terry cloth robe somewhere in the house. I was going to take the waistband from that and tie it around my head and start eating carrots. Alright, no, seriously, we said this before. I don't think I can do it. I couldn't bring myself to really do that. It's too embarrassing. Castles, seriously. We don't follow him. I was talking about people that I follow. People I actually follow, DK Guy. Black Spelltweast is playing poker. Peter Balkus, Photo Chess, Hikaru, Pepe Lu. Nobody's streaming among my Twitch friends. Except for Black Spelltweast, who's a poker player. Queen c7. Yeah, I mean, I talked about this recently. The queen is not well placed here. The knight is not well placed on b6. These pieces they don't have much scope, and they're not really functioning. So white is really good. It's interesting that he's holding off on any sort of exchange with his bishop here. I wonder if he's intending to castle queenside. Is that what this is about? The proverbial castling queenside. Now a4 is appropriate anyway. Anytime there's a knight on b6 pretty much. But there is another way. There might be another way. I mean, it's clearly hard to resist that. But rook c1 is interesting as well. Do not try what our hero here with black is trying at home. That's why I left my a-rook on a1. Frankly. Does Gata stream in Russian? Does he live in Russia or does he live in the United States? He used to go back for, I guess he lives in the US, I would guess, but he was playing all the time in like the Russian team championship and stuff. So I wasn't sure what his deal was. He probably has family back in Russia. It was obviously his dad who brought them over, in 1989 or whatever. But it struck me as a little bit weird, Not to tell people what to do, but he streams in English. Well, he's lived in the United States forever. I mean, over 30 years. Queen d3. But he had this very, very strange relationship with his dad, who was like horrible and abusive, and nobody really knows like what the deal is. Is his dad even still alive? Is a good question. Yeah, he's younger than me. Kamsky's a little bit younger than me. But the guy was under the shadow of his like domineering father his whole life. It's not easy to live with that, with someone who controls you. It's amazing he achieved what he did under the circumstances. I told the story about how, well, I was close to Roman Gingiashvili. Like, his dad did all kinds of crazy stuff. When he had his match with, like, Gelfand or something, the dad was, like, punching the seconds who talked to the... When Shabalov was, like, his second or something, he, like, spoke to Gelfand's wife, and they punched Shabalov. They were completely... The father was completely crazy. I mean, imagine Kamsky, like, achieving the level of success he did, you know, under the circumstances. With his father, like, way more negative influence than positive. It's amazing that he achieved what he did. I mean, obviously his father had some positive effect. He was, like, driving him and intense, making him intensely competitive. But at what price, you know? There was a time when he almost went to, like, law school or medical school, but I'm not sure what happened. Health master. I don't think he ever finished, like, law and medical school. He tried both. Health master is hanging on. Health master, you got a strange style for 1300. We've already discussed this. I won't harp on it much longer, but this keeping the tension here with bishop g4. Most people who are 1300 don't have the affinity to be able to do that. Now, oddly, like, you mistimed it. You should play bishop f3 probably here. I should consider taking with the pawn, not to allow exchanges. But this seems like a positional mistake. Well, now you just dropped a piece. You have to take on e2. Queen e2, de, and white is better. Yeah, I'm sure, like, Kamsky and his dad haven't talked 20 years or something. No, I don't know. Nobody really knows. The guy basically quit chess for forever. I mean, he had totally stopped playing for 10 years or something. It's insane. Asterbate, good to see a challenge from you. Chess Base Austria, Chess Base. Sorry. Chess Beast. COVID 20, interesting name. Miralis and Osmir. You've got a weird style. Looks like a lot of potential for learning chess. Asterbate's played me 153 games. He's never had a draw. We call him the draw master. But one of his wins is it was a cheap victory. What was it? Did you flag me or something? There was some suspicious circumstances at one of these points. Now, I didn't play the Caro-Kann against him. That's my Asterbate kryptonite. But basically, ironically, we reached the Caro-Kann position by transposition. One of those c5, e5, c5 lines. I've got an extra tempo, though. So this is just a really good Caro-Kann advanced variation. What am I talking about? Yeah, if I develop my bishop outside the pawn chain. E6 is just an advanced French. I don't know how bad this is, really. Is bishop f5 that good? The one mad queen is raiding the party of 10. This is a new raider. One mad queen. Thank you for the raid. Yesterday, guys, we had a raid from Tranquilizer. So that's 2 raids in a row. Wednesday and Thursday. No, today's Thursday. Today's Friday. Thursday and Friday raids. Thank you for raiding, Mad Queen. Where are you from? Aster, what are you doing? Dropping your center. Is that pawn poisonous? He likes to sacrifice pawns, central pawns. This is a new kind of gambit. What's c4? Good idea. That's what it is. So knight b4, yeah, whatever. Asterbait played the c3 Sicilian. This is actually unusual for him. Normally he's playing stuff with bishop c4. Again, thank you for the raid, One Mad Queen. I'll check out your page later. f4. Asterbait's all over the map. He's just all over the map here. It looks really bad. Though I guess I could get impaled by a bishop b5 check if I try to get carried away. Maybe development is called for. I wanted to play knight b4. Then if pawn takes pawn, knight c2 check, king f2. It could get a little complicated. And I know how sneaky he is. So probably we want to be a little cautious. We're completely winning with a central pawn. 2 central pawns up. Well, 1, whatever. Who's counting? Almost mate. Mate in 3. Mate in 4. Is it mate in 3? Oof. It's not mate. It is mate. It isn't mate. Is it mate? I'm really bad at puzzles. I don't know, Asterbait can't play against me lately. He used to be good. He's got chess dementia. I started suffering from chess dementia recently too. Don't feel bad, man. This is like a puzzle. You can't go there, though. You have to play king f3. Puzzle chess. Yeah. I don't know. What's up with you, dude? You need a long layoff from the Caro-Kann type positions. So, what happened here? You have a totally normal position, then you played knight d2. I don't like it though. You know, this isn't very, very trustworthy. Instead of e5, you should play takes on d5. This is the normal system of c3 Sicilian. Chess Beast Austria. I'm in the blinding angel sunlight. Sorry about that, guys. This happens every day at 12:30. It never rains in the time of coronavirus. So it's always good weather. Asterbait, the first game you had 15 cent upon loss today? Tonight? Maybe it's too late for you. Need to get some sleep. Chess in the time of coronavirus. Chess Beast Austria. First I thought it was chess based, then it was chess beats. It's too hard to say that. But chess beast. Yeah, this is maybe knight h6 is a good move here. Countering, not allowing knight d5. Although knight d5 was nothing for him right away. It would just lead to simplification. We're going to transpose to a position I've had against a couple other players here. Reversed hedgehog. It's actually fine for white, but probably not advantageous. It's basically like equal. Maybe the best move for white there is to just castle and let me take on c3. Well, who knows? I mean, this could be good. Obviously, you have to watch for knight b4. I think we're going to risk it. I did some videos. Yeah, your raid went through. There seems to be something with my Twitch. It's a little bit delayed or laggy. But maybe you couldn't get your chat in because it's like a 10-minute. I don't remember what we have set for follow. I think we had 10-minute follow set, and then I'm not sure if it's still in effect or not. My mod isn't here today, so he's the one that set that up. I'm not sure if it's set on that or not. Maybe your chat took a while to go through. The raid went through, yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much for raiding the channel. Where are you from? Bishop f5. This queen c1, it might actually be better to play queen b1. I think it's more normal to play queen b1. Then if bishop f5, d3. But I don't take any responsibility for white's position. No, he's just blundering. It's best to play take, you know. You should play like knight takes d5, knight takes d5, bishop g7, king g7, cd5, queen d5, and it's kind of normal position with like a reversed, almost like a reversed English. Mad Queen, I didn't check out your channel. Let me see. For some reason, my internet is really, really laggy. The chats were coming through very slow. I think it's my internet. We're looking like we've got massive lag. I don't know, my internet is not even loading my pages. It's taking like 3 minutes to load a web page. COVID-20. Let me check my ping. Ping question mark, ping 69. It's actually not that bad. Maybe it's something with Twitch. I can't get it to load. But thank you for the raid. You're modded over 20 channels. Awesome. Oh, thank you for raiding our stream. Knight f3, d5, c4. I'm kind of a low profile chess streamer. GDI. c6. What do we do here? I don't know this too much. Normally I play d4 or e3, or maybe knight c3. Not in that position, but e3, knight c3. So you're modding in those streams. Hikaru. I never have time to watch anyone. Sadly. I would like to. I'm working pretty much full-time teaching, so don't have a lot of free time. I would love to watch other streamers actually learn something. Bishop g2, and we just sacrificed this pawn on c4. So I like Hikaru, you know. Actually, he sent some gift subs in my channel once, but I rarely get to watch. I'm definitely a nutcase. Now with more nuts. Bishop g4, knight e5 is being... Knight e5 is being requested. Although I think that move is oftentimes like overrated. I definitely know who Hikaru is. The others not so much. You know, it's funny, like I don't think I ever met Ray Robson. I left the United States in like 2004. It's been a long time. There's some players that are like strong grandmasters who I've never even met, or they were like little children. Like Robson was a little child. He was probably like 13 years old when I left the US. I've been back for visits, but I haven't been involved in the American chess scene since basically 2004. 2003, objectively. I know more about like Hungarian chess than American. All right, guys and girls. What's this? Pretty standard position, actually. I don't like queen c7. I think the queen b6. Queen b6 is usually a superior way to do it. He's allowing bishop f4. Bishop f4 may not be that good, though. Maybe I'm forcing my opponent to make a good move. You can stay with your queen on c7. How about that? Just stay there. Just don't. In the words of veteran grandmaster Anatoly Lang. Just don't. Have you seen the Armageddon ding? No. I haven't, like, you know, it's like watching chess streams. I'm working like all the time, teaching. I almost never have time to actually do, you know, me time. Chess me time. I don't have enough chess me time. So bishop d6. The only time I like look at real games are when I'm like trying to prep a lecture for a web video or something. For my own personal entertainment. Sorry for bitching so much, but now, all right, bishop d6. Can we really gain an advantage here in some way? Yeah, not easy to do. Objectively, this opening, in other words, like the Reti, is nothing. You know, I can't prove an advantage. Honestly, I think his queen c7 is slightly inaccurate, but it's probably playable. I wonder if I could have exchanged on d5. That would give him knight c6, though. There's no way to really gain an advantage by force. So I'm not sure what I should do. We don't have much here. Learning chess. I'm hoping that COVID-19 doesn't take me down. Poker Pro, rated 3+1. I'm retired from poker. Well, semi-retired. I spent like 8 years of my life playing poker full time. But I'm not good at doing things like halfway. It's better for me to concentrate on one thing, either chess or poker. When I was doing poker, I was doing very little chess. I'm not good at multitasking. Well, I'm really sorry you seriously have it. In the US, it's gotten way out of control. Yeah, one of my students sent me a notice that one of his many time opponents had passed away from the virus, an older man. But we're starting to see really it take its toll. It's very, very sad. So I hope you get better. As everybody says, it's not as bad for younger people. That doesn't mean that it doesn't contain a lot of danger. You know, everybody has to be careful. So, fortunately, in Hungary, we still have the problem, of course, but it's a much less populous country than the United States. So we don't have as much of a danger here, although we're basically completely in lockdown. I haven't left my apartment more than to just get the minimum things I need from the store every week. So knight c5 now, what do? We take and take. We have some sort of tactics on the discovery. Should work. Maybe d4. But I do hope you get better. You had to quit streaming because it's awful. Yeah. I just hope I don't get it. I hope my family doesn't get it. But even if you're not older, it's still dangerous. d4. d4, bishop d6, d4, bishop b6, d4, bishop b6. How about knight b5? Knight b5. What does that even do, actually? Does nothing. So black is okay here. At the end of the day, black's fine. Well, this is COVID 20. I forgot I was playing COVID 20. For some reason, I thought I was playing a different player in the list. I don't pay attention to things like the name of my opponent. Oh no. This I missed. This is probably a draw. Bishop d4, knight d5, knight d5, bishop d5. But likely this is a draw. You also have to analyze knight b5, but it doesn't look that great. Knight b5. Black has just simply queen b6, knight d4, queen d4, queen b7, rook b8, queen c6. Maybe I could reach an ending where I'm slightly better. I guess objectively I should play for a win like that. Taking on b7, eating the c6 pawn. We have a slightly better structure, and bishop versus knight. Dude, what? Oh, Irina Krush was supposed to have it. Keith Arkle had it. Or claims he had it. I'm not sure if he was officially tested. So I know some people. Yeah, I don't mind if you post the link. Of course. And black just blundered. Blundered a rook. But I don't know... Of course, like, absolutely. I don't think this is so bad. Rook b8. This is what I figured. Queen c6, rook b2. And then maybe like rook c2 or something. We'll try to play for a win from this position, but sadly COVID-20 COVID-20 bit the dust. If only COVID-19 would do the same. Bishop f2 and queen b8. What? You know what's funny, DK guy? It's never even occurred to me. Bishop f2 and queen b8 loses a piece, my friend. Other than that, it's good. That's the big mystery. Why can't you make blunders like that against me, DK guy? You only make blunders in your speculative analysis. No, you shouldn't lose. Probably black should hold a draw here from a slightly worse position. I wonder if queen c7 has ever even been played. There's one game. Yeah, I mean, queen b6 is like universal, and occasionally you'll see a queen c8. But the queen is a little bit more exposed on c7. Don't be exposed. Poker Pro has challenged me to rate it. Okay, that's a bigger issue. I don't mind like the 3+1 if you insisted on that, but Poker Pro, if you could re-challenge, if I have time. I don't know if we'll have enough time. We have time for like 3 more games probably. 5+3, casual. Joyful emptiness. Varzelny. Yeah, just re-challenge. But I don't do rated because it's impossible to commentate properly. It's a disadvantage. I mean, I'm handicapping myself if I'm like commentating and telling people moves during rated games. I don't do that. Five plus 3, casual. So I usually put a joke down there. I usually at the bottom of the screen of the board I put the time control. I forgot it wasn't in there today. So Morales is coming back with the variation. I mean, this refutes the. I know it sounds like an exaggeration, but I mean, in Knight H3 almost refutes the Budapest Gambit. This is like clearly the best. Clearly the best line against the Budapest. Just simply playing Knight H3. I had another blitz game yesterday in this variation. Now, Morales has some tricky line where he tried to do A5 and the rook transfer. I've got to keep an eye out for that. I don't like that. You know, you're not allowed to get anything active anymore. No. We had a really good simul game against someone on sound too. No playing like hyper aggressive rook A6 stuff. Okay? Promise. Yeah, I noticed that Geary has an account on lichess. I guess he was playing in the Elite Blitz or Elite Bullet or something. Which is cool. I like Geary a lot. Not personally. I don't know him personally, but another player who's oddly too young for me to really know him. But you know, I've played a lot of world-class players. Aronian, Carlsen, Caruana. But Geary I never met, and I like his style a lot. A lot of people make fun of him because of the tournaments where he had so many draws. But I mean, honestly, I think that Anish Giri is like, he's a pure player. He tries to play like the best moves, you know. I really appreciate this guy. He's style I can understand. He just tries to play like the mathematically best moves, it feels like. The One Mad Queen subscribed at tier 1. You subscribed for 3 months. Didn't realize. It's hard to keep track of everybody. Rook A6, I like this. You know, I like it for you. I mean, if I ever have to play, I'm gonna try to play like you, Morales. Now Knight G3. What about G6? See, G6 doesn't work anymore. You no longer have a fianchetto bishop on G7. This is bizarre, man. What is going on? We had a game like this. We had a game like this a little while back. Draw. This is a mad rook. Yeah, I can understand if people criticize Geary and Magnus as being boring. There's something to that, you know. Totally understand it. You can criticize. You're entitled to your opinion. But as a professional who has to play extremely strong players all the time, I feel like I can identify closer to my preferred method of play. If you're playing like 2700s day in and day out, you might play more like Geary and Magnus Carlsen too. They're not playing, you know, weak opponents. Like, it's not easy, man. Mad Queen just gifted a tier 1 sub to Baron Zen. Thank you, guys. This is a nasty line. I mean, he's got the bishop staying active. The rook is transferred into the game. I think Morales did a lot of thinking. And obviously, like most people aren't going to gamble. Obviously, Anish Giri is not going to play this for black. Only move. I'm surprised you didn't play rook d6 before. We had a previous game once where you did something like rook d6. Now, I might have to take a draw here because I'm getting low on time. Yes, Mamedyarov plays everything. He's not Anish Giri. He's the anti-Anish Giri. But look, I was like listening to some really old punk band, Husker Du, the other day, and when I was thinking about their style, it's like a combination of in music it's like a combination of punk but with melodic. It's like the first punk that really had like elements of melodic music in it, and like you can appreciate things that are different, you know what I mean? It's possible to appreciate let's say folk music and punk at the same time. Like you can appreciate Mamedyarov and Anish Giri simultaneously, you know, even though they seem very different. I think there are still some things you can appreciate against both. So he found a way now to play with a rook on f6. Wow, Mad Queen just donated a gifted a tier 3 sub to my community. Gifted what? No, 3 tier 1 subs. Gifting 3 tier 1 subs. I can't read. I'm sorry. Wow, thank you so much for generous gift subs. And no, I'm just making this analogy between punk music, folk music, and Anish Giri. Anish Giri is to folk music as Mamedyarov is to punk. But you can appreciate both, you know. Morales is like Rammstein, I think. But this d6 move, I'm a little bit upset about this. He managed to find a constructive move without repeating. That's not really what I was looking for. The danger of e4 is significant. Opening the diagonal here, this is not something that I take lightly. Now I'm about to lose on time. Your makeup stream. You know, I heard about a woman actually getting shot this week, and her life was saved by her breast implants. Sometimes you never know, you know, what can make a difference. But anyways, e4 is a risky decision, but it might be okay. How about king h1 to get the hell out of there? I also don't like this coming in. Okay, I opened my bishop. This is the main idea. No more rook h6. No more bishop e3. King h1, perhaps? Rook g6. He's going to play rook g6 now. I just ran out of time because I'm talking too much. It's like Run DMC. Bad Queen just donated to Silicone Boobs. Give the gift of life. Knight d5, thank you so much for really the generous donations. Now bishop h5. What's happening? Morales, we've been through this before. You have an answer. Oh no. No. What am I going to do? Oh my god, my f-pawn is pinned. This is worse than I suspected. I'm about to get annihilated. Queen h4? What? You have that? I think you had an even stronger move. Damn it. I guess this is good enough, though. I'm just lost. It's like an improved version of the last game I had against him. It's like the exact same game we played last time. This is insane. The exact same theme that he used last time, but he just improved it. Now I'm just down 2 pieces. No compensation. Totally lost. Totally lost. Two pieces for a rook. It's hopeless. Self-deprecating usually helps when I'm desperately losing. I found that my opponents will underestimate me. If I sound desperate enough, pathetic enough, there's still always hope. No, there needs to be a little bit of improvement going on with my system here. He's put a lot of work into this, though. You may think it's just something random he threw out there. But he got beat up pretty bad a couple of times in this variation, and obviously this is going back to the workshop. He went back to his workshop and he improved the system. Rook e4 was an interesting move there. I'm pretty close to lost here. Right on the precipice of disaster. As Morales just continues to play like a master. Pretty impressive game. It was me who got you to watch chess streams in the first place. Was it? Was it me? I definitely didn't put on my makeup today. I have not been sleeping well. The worst thing about this lockdown is like not getting enough exercise and how it's affecting that part for me, you know. Because I don't exercise enough, I'm not getting tired enough and not getting proper sleep. We are lost here. Totally gone. He's like a machine. Not literally. La Máquina, they call him in Spain. Thanks to my tip, you're over 1,500. That's awesome. La Máquina. I had to file income taxes recently. I'm tired of accounting, and I'm aware of stuff like PayPal fees and, oh man. A lot of stuff we don't think about. He is trashing me in the endgame too. Jesus. There's no way I'm going to save this. It's not like he just trashed me in the opening. He's trashing me in the endgame too. Like, devastating strength. There's no way I could save this position. He's got everything. Better rook, better king, better pawn up. It's like playing a GM. And he's ultra fast too. Just caving. I'm caving completely now. What can I do? We got to try some desperate counterplay. But there's nothing. Not enough. It looks too slow. Morelos, you're brutally underrated, dude. 2004. I'm nearly getting mated now. The emphasis on nearly. Yearly. If he's got the Blavix endgame technique, there could be hope. This obviously was a draw all the way. Keep away from my chalupa. That's it. Distancing. Social distancing. Don't forget. What a game. Good game. I thought you were going to let me trade rooks there. Tricked yourself. Tricked me. Tricked yourself. Whatever. Good game. It was a draw. Easy draw. Yeah, you deserved it. This is like a Donald Trump briefing on the game. He played great. He played great. He totally deserved a draw. He was terrific. Yeah, I was almost winning the whole game, but you know, basically, he deserved the draw there. He worked really hard for it, and he got the draw. We should totally perfect that. We could do Trump briefings, Trump briefing analysis sessions, Poker Pro. The Mad Rook line. Poker Pro still challenged me to 5-0, but all right. At least it's casual. Anyway, we've got to go soon. Let me see if I can even finish these games. Side comment, attention to the Mad Rook line. You don't need to sack the exchange. You are aware you had like Bishop G4 there. That's the thing, Antonio. Maybe you have just Bishop G4. That's what I was terrified of. Like, I don't think you need to sacrifice the exchange. Although maybe the exchange jack is even stronger. I think just like Bishop G4 immediately. Bishop H5 was probably the losing move for white in that position. Guys, thank you so much for the support from the Mad Queen. Very generous. Got a lot of new subscribers now. Basically, we'll just talk about how great we defended and how great our opponent was to save the game and get a draw. Deflect from the fact that we're completely lost since move 10 or 15. Chess briefings. It's a good concept. Fake chess briefings. This would be the perfect game. I'm totally, completely lost. The rookie game was winning, but he messed up. Do you want to talk about reality? Or are we going to talk fake chess briefings? In reality, I was like -4 in that rook end game. Totally lost. He has a better rook, as I said, better rook, better king, and a pawn up. He's like at least +3, +4. Easy win. But he started to suddenly use all his time up in the endgame. I'll have to find a method of dealing with the rook, the mad rook variation. The one mad rook. What is this, some sort of Lawrence Trent system? Bishop e7. Wasn't Simon Williams like promoting playing the old Indian against everything? Probably e3 here, going for a full center with d4. Some kind of h3, but the problem with my position is that my knight is on f3. It would be totally normal to play this with my knight on e2, h3, d4, etc., etc. But with the knight on f3, it's kind of in the way of the bishop. It makes the position a little bit different. Here you might even be able to play d5. No, seriously, d5, that's like an engine variation. cd5, knight d5, knight e5, knight c3, knight c6, knight d1, or something like that. Maybe I don't need to stop bishop g4. As I mentioned earlier, knight h3 was brought to my attention against the Budapest long ago. Much love for Mad Queen from Silicone Boobs. The knight h3 against the Budapest to Shereshevsky, a lot of other people have probably taken credit for it, as far as I know. He's a famous trainer who died like in the very recent years, the last couple of years. Everybody knows about Mark Dvoretsky, but the Belarusian trainer Shereshevsky was also quite famous. He had this book called The Soviet Chess Conveyor, which I've mentioned on the stream before. And that variation was specifically recommended. He basically gave a bunch of openings that like he'd given to his students as part of a repertoire. I'm pretty sure part of his D4 repertoire was dealing with the Budapest Gambit, and he recommended that. I don't remember if he recommended playing e3 first or h3 right away. So this is an interesting piece sack by Osmir here. Not that easy to get out of this pin in a profitable way. But I think we can do it. Bye-bye, Silicone Boobs. Thanks for joining us. Glad that I could be somewhat of an inspiration. Queen d3. GM Kasparov from Belarusia. Sergei Kasparov? He's from Belarusia? But why do you bring that up? I mean, a lot of people are from Belarusia. Gelfand, most famously. No relation. Well, Kasparov's name isn't really Kasparov. He just adopted that name. The real Kasparov was like Weinstein. D takes e4. Need a rest. I can only stream for like 2.5 to 3 hours, and then it's martini time. Martini time is coming up at 8 o'clock p.m. My favorite time of the week. But the Lukashenko cure is much better than Trump's cure, you know. I think it actually has some effect. I've always been kind of partial to the vodka part of the Lukashenko cure, you know. I mean, that can't be bad for you. You think you stream for 8 hours? I can't do long streams. Maybe. I'm in the middle age now. The Middle Ages. Even when I was younger, I had to stop. When I would train with friends, this is how I got this joke. Going back to when I was like 30 or even younger, we used to train with a friend of mine. We would study for hours, like openings or whatever. And he was always joking that I couldn't concentrate after 3 hours. So he called it martini time. I need a makeup stream. Now there's no place to get your hair done, you know? It's a serious problem. It's nothing to joke about. All right, I'm trading queens. I don't know what I'm thinking about here for 2 minutes. He sacked a piece. If I can trade queens, it should be a no-brainer. I think that the Belarusian system with vodka and sauna is a pretty damn good idea. Maybe not for everyone, but for me it works. Much better than injecting bleach into your body, surprisingly. Uh-oh. Everybody's getting frisky with their rooks against me. You were like inspired by Morales. My knights this time have a little bit more bite. You lose at least the exchange. What is the strongest opening names after an animal? The squirrel. The hippo. Hippos are the deadliest animal. There's something called the whale, isn't there? The whale is a variation. Now another rook lift. Stop yourself. Morales is a bad influence on these people trying to mate me with rook lifts. Now everybody thinks they can do it. He did a good job to draw that game. Do we have sunlight again? That's what it is. It's a treatment. You know, guys, in the middle of my stream, when the sunlight is pouring in through the webcam, that's my COVID-19 sunlight treatment. I forgot to tell you. I have like a built-in sunlight treatment in my office. We've only got time for another game or two. Not that many openings named after animals, ultimately. A lot of people think the bird is named after an animal. I have bad news. The bird is not a word. Hippopotamuses are only number 11. That's so disappointing. There is Snake Benoni. That's got to be up there. It's a good chess trivia question. So Snake Benoni, deadlier than hippopotamuses. They're both in about the same category as far as like how good they are. Poor hedgehogs. Larry Bird, now you're talking 80s. 80s sports figures. That's a category I might actually know. Is there something called the mosquito? Deadliest animal. I don't know if there's any chess openings named after mosquitoes. Whatever it is, it's just kind of annoying. Polar bear. It sounds like something that Brian Wall made up. There was this guy, Jack Young. He was a national master in New Hampshire. He had this thing called Bozo's Chess Emporium, where he would make up weird openings for an article. I remember there was one called The Squirrel, but I don't know how it was again. I think maybe you Moved your knight to a3 and c2 or something. Snakes really account for 100,000 deaths a year? So joyful emptiness. Let's check out this account now. Members since April 17th. 46 bullet games. Blitz games. He followed Anish Giri. Seems legit. Alright. Gotta be careful when we're getting challenges from people who are 2,500. They could be a computer. I don't get a lot of challenges. See, ego is involved with the higher rated players very heavily. So basically, we don't get a lot of people like equal strength challenging me. Their egos, they don't like putting their ego on the line. And when they do, they like to play bullet chess. Because when it's bullet chess, it's like, bullet chess is basically like, I don't like to castle. Why did I castle? I never castle here. Now I'm stuck playing a variation I don't know. Wonderful. Once I lost this line against Yuri Shulman with black. But I don't like this position for black. I don't like this variation, I should say. Last game, guys, I gotta go. I lost one challenge from someone else, I thought. I was gonna say that strong players like to play bullet chess because when they lose to other strong players, they don't have to like take a hit on their ego. Oh, it was just a bullet game, you know? That doesn't count. It was just a bullet game. I think that's one part of the reason why it's so popular. You don't really have to put your ego on the line. In Blitz, it's more ego at stake because it's more of a real game, you know? Nobody can be like, oh, I beat him in a bullet game. Like, who cares? Even Blitz is like borderline, but... So yeah, Yuri Shulman. Long time ago in the World Open, once I ended up playing this line with black, but I have no clue what I'm doing. It's not a setup that I'm familiar with. I quickly castled that thinking, normally I play c5 here after e3. It's funny that I was just thinking this morning, and I mentioned it on the stream, that like nobody plays e3 on lichess amongst, you know, like normal average everyday players. I decided to go with this. This is like the lowest risk treatment. Why am I saying that? I'm watching too many White House briefings. Maybe just knight c6 now. I don't actually watch White House briefings, but everybody gets to see the fallout. White is slightly better now. I'm concerned about finding a place for my queen. Playing bullet for sometimes makes me distressed. Well, I think it's an addiction, like anything else. I mean, normal blitz can be an addiction too. But I don't play bullet anymore. I never played a lot though, but I basically banned it from my chess life completely. It's not good for your game, and I'm trying to teach people how to get better at chess, and I would look like an idiot, you know, if I tried to seriously promote people playing bullet chess. I think it actually hurts your game. And even if it doesn't hurt your game, there are better things you can do with your time. For sure. No, I'm luckily equalizing here. I think he was better. This wasn't really trustworthy, but one question, you know, Yuri Shulman here played CD. That's the main line. And that was a game I remember we played in the World Open. Top boards, like 1998 or something, but long ago. But I know that CD is the main line where you exchange on d5. I think that's superior to fix the structure there. Now we end up in a structure where it's symmetrical. So even though Joyful Emptiness had a little bit of development edge, now he's got nothing. His queen is more actively placed than mine, but other than that, it's like totally equal. Greetings from Balkos. Good to catch you, man. You just caught my stream about to end. But it's very hard for either side to win a symmetrical structure. Someone mentioned Irina Krush earlier. She had tested positive for COVID-19 before, and they were wondering how she was doing. But in another Irina Krush question, she plays the Queen's Gambit Accepted. There are not a lot of players I know who play the Accepted. This is a structure that looks like it came out of Queen's Gambit Accepted. Dlugi, Irina Krush. Who else plays the Queen's Gambit Accepted? Not very popular opening. One of the problems with it is that it leads to these type of positions where you have this totally symmetrical structure. The Nimzo, not so much. But if White had played CD on move 6, he's guaranteed a more dynamic pawn structure. Where's the love? To love yourself. Nothing wrong in loving yourself. You have to have self-esteem. Very important. Believe in yourself. Self-love. All right, guys, last game. I got to go. Off to teach chess. We're working till 5 o'clock, and then it's... The highlight of my week is every Friday when it's martini time. Basically, I drink and play video games. That's what life is for. Outpost. I used to drink alcohol and play poker, but in the era of social distancing, we're now playing video games. Knight b2, pawn takes a6, knight d1. Pawn b7, knight c3. Well, I don't think he has a choice. Though I should think about taking on b5. What am I afraid of? I know what I'm afraid of. That this doesn't freaking work. It doesn't work. I'm losing a pawn. Alright, whatever. I'm sacking a pawn. Not losing a pawn. It was merely sacrificing a pawn. I guess knight d5. We can still hopefully equalize. I'm a little concerned. How about the b4 pawn? Can't really protect that. Tang. Is WJ Loof here? Tang was the first time I got drunk. Vodka and Tang. Great combination. Someone claims that Russians drink Tang. I wonder where the Tang came from. Did we bring it from the United States or did I get it in Russia? It's a good question. I think we brought it with us. What is Tang? Are you guys talking about Eric Tang? Or what's his name? Andrew Tang. Eric, whatever. Another name, sorry. I'm terrible with names. This looks pretty drawish. That is a long... You didn't type that all in. You cheated. Do they have Tang in Poland? Don't drink it with vodka. Unless you're treating yourself. Tang is a good substitute for bleach. Much, much healthier to drink Tang. This bishop f3 is a funny move. At least there's no back rank mate. This is a draw. Out for a draw. Yeah, nothing happening. I've got a bishop, but it's a symmetrical structure on the same side of the board. No Tang in Poland. Alright guys, thank you for the games. We're going to be back Sunday with Simul. Thanks so much everybody for your support. Sunday Simul, very important. Sunday Simul, 6:30 CET. Thank you everybody for supporting the stream, following, checking us out. So Sunday Simul is for 25 players, casual, long games. Please don't play unless you can. Please don't play unless you can. Word I'm looking for. Unless you can play the whole game, it can last up to 3 hours. Thanks everybody for support. We'll see you Sunday. Bye bye. Thanks from the panda. Bye bye. See you Sunday.